Segment 2, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. All of our shows are on YouTube, over 300,000 shows watched. Things really were hot and heavy before the initial February Aldermanic election. We got tons of views. Thank you so much. The website is ntnm.org. From there, all of our shows are on YouTube over the last 8.5 to 9 years or so. So you can join the other 300,000 people who are busy yelling and screaming at me or whatever on YouTube. Community policing, we're very big on caps24.org. The 24th District has really been terrific in us having monthly meetings. Every other meeting attended by police. There are some definite major surprise guests that show up at the CAPS meetings, and we don't always get advance notifications. Sometimes I find out at the meeting, or I plug them, but you should really come to these meetings and show up. At the November meeting, we were fortunate to have the people that run the 911 center. And of course, none of you that complain about 911 were at that meeting, but that's another story. And then in February, we had Deputy Chief of Patrol for the City of Chicago, Wayne Guilford, on. And that was very educational. He's in charge of all the beats throughout the city. To show up at your CAPS meeting. Well, there is a runoff election in 19 wards. And we're concentrating on the north side wards basically for the show. And we did invite everybody. Not everybody chose to show up. But we are fortunate to have somebody who really did well in the initial election, who's in a runoff in the 43rd Ward. Somebody who is actually a native of the 50th Ward, in the words of Jim Nally, former Estes Eagle. Somebody from, who grew up on Estes, whose parents are very involved in community affairs, a block club here. Caroline Vickrey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
First of all, good, and congratulations on doing so well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, you were up against some real major money, and you came through in flying colors.
That's absolutely true.
So, okay, I imagine you're working at this a little bit right now?
Yeah. At working at what?
Running for office.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I got into the race, and I didn't have any name recognition. I had never run for public office other than the local school council. And I didn't have any money, and what I had was a legal background and a lot of 22 years of community experience. And I think that carried me through. The alderman that I was running against, the incumbent, had a war chest of hundreds of thousands of dollars in the backing of the mayor, and the fact that she only got 42% of the vote and that I took her to a runoff really shows that the community is divided and feels very betrayed by their alderman at the moment. So.
No, 42% is for a sitting alderman to be forced into a runoff, and especially considering the fact about how low the turnout was. Right. Usually a low turnout election favors the incumbent and the machine.
That's right. That's right.
And you know what? These people stayed home this time.
That's right. That's right. It's definitely the truth. And I think people were motivated. It was a very, very cold day. We had a lot of what we called polsicles, people standing out at the polls freezing. And I think a lot of people didn't come out to vote, but a lot of people were very motivated. I think this alderman is really plagued. She's been troubled with there's been a lot of ethical issues that she's been plagued with, and also broken promises that she made to her constituents over the past 4 years.
That definitely plays in. I will tell you that I got a couple of rather interesting letters based on Jewish Chicago, which I'm probably not going to come out with the print edition because there are not enough races to make money, guys. I might put it online. We'll see. I don't know. But people wrote me letters basically telling me that I really need to examine this race much more closely than I did. And actually, one of the letters was an extremely intelligent, well-thought-out letter. I'll forward it to you afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
You'd like it, maybe you'll pick up a couple of workers.
Thank you. Yeah, that would be great. We love campaign workers, envelope stuffers, and people that go out and knock on doors and make phone calls. We've had a lot of fun in our office.
Yeah, so are you seeing a big uptick in your campaign now since the...
Yeah, definitely. Checks have been flying in, which is wonderful to save me time of calling and asking. And we've had a lot of people in making phone calls. We've been out on the street knocking on doors. We have been, setting up a number of different events. In the coming 3 weeks, we have an event every single day, except for, I think, 3 days left open. So wow. It's really exciting.
That is cool, definitely.
Yeah.
Why don't we tell people what the boundaries of the ward are?
Sure. At the north end, it's Diversey, and the line goes straight down Diversey, and then it cuts down Lakewood, It jogs over on Webster to Racine, goes down Racine to Clybourne, and then it zigzags down North Avenue with a few cutouts out of Old Town that are in the Second Ward. And then there's a little peninsula in the Gold Coast, east of State Street and north of Division. So it's fairly together. It's not as cut up as, say, the Second Ward, which is right next door, which really got chopped up.
The Second Ward is, if you look at a map, it looks like North Avenue's a barbell.
Yeah.
And you've got these weights.
And then Jefferson Park is the other barbell. It's just a squiggle and doesn't. I think it's going to be a hard place to govern and to lead, but they have a lot of great candidates there.
No, that's definitely true. Definitely true. Which ward is that you're talking about?
The Second Ward. Yeah.
Oh, the second. Yeah. The second is.
Well, not a lot. I guess they only have two now.
Well, they've got two.
Yeah.
But you know what? One thing I want to say that we were talking about earlier, you know, Cornell Wilson, who we both were very impressed with.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if it was the Tribune. I think the Tribune might have said that that was the highest quality of, the highest number of quality candidates in a race. And I think almost any of those people could have come to the 50th ward here, hint, hint, and run and won. Because, I mean, I didn't meet a single dud among I think I interviewed 4 different people from that race, and there wasn't a dud in the batch.
Yeah, I met several of them. I met Cornell and Stacy, and I've met Alex, and she's dynamic, and I've seen Brian in debates, and he seems incredibly knowledgeable. So I think that they're going to be in good hands. I hope it's going to be a really good and, calm debating season on the issues. I think things got really, really tense there and kind of ugly for a while right before the runoff. So maybe now they'll get into the issues and dig deep.
That would be good. Are there any debates coming up in your ward?
Yes, there are many, and I'm looking forward to them. We have one on Monday at the Steppenwolf Theater. I think there are 4 different neighborhood organizations that have teamed up: the Lincoln Central Association, Ranch Triangle Association, Wrightwood Neighbors, and Sheffield Neighbors have teamed up to hold a big group debate on Monday. So we're going to be on stage. It's going to be a good one. And they ran a great debate last time with some really good questions. They were formulated ahead of time to be really impartial, and I thought it was a very well-run debate.
That's a great theater, too, by the way.
It is. It's a great one. And it's expanding. You knew that?
I did know. Yeah. I get all their press releases.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of theirs since they started. I mean, they are the best. I love their plays. I really do.
Yeah, they are. We've got some cultural institutions in the city, and they are just the top, really at the top.
No, for sure. I mean, you're talking about an awful lot of internationally famous people that have come out of there.
Absolutely.
So, in any event, if people want to see where all the debates are, I'm sure you've got it listed on your website.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So your website is
CarolineFor43.com.
Caroline, and that's FOR?
Yes, Caroline, and then it's INE, and then for FOR.
Okay.
And then the numeric 43.
Okay.
I've learned it's hard to say out loud. It looks fine in print. It's hard to say out loud as I say it over there.
So Caroline, FOR43.com. And it's great that you're having that many debates.
Yeah.
Have you changed your tack at all since the...
Oh, and I didn't... that was the first debate. I didn't even mention the others. Then there's going to be an Old Town debate on, I think, Thursday the 19th.
Yeah.
Then there's going to be a Gold Coast neighbors debate, which is going to be at the Public Hotel, the former Ambassador East.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really, really fancy. And then we're going to have a WTTW debate, Chicago Tonight, and possibly the Mid-North and Park West neighborhood associations are going to team up. So I didn't get through the whole list, but...
Oh, you got a real vibrant community with all those
definitely.
groups. That's for sure.
Definitely. And then Aldertrack now wants one, too. So there's a
lot.
There's going to be a lot
route?
of talking. There's going to be a lot of talking, a lot of debating.
Yeah, I invited Mike Forche today, but he's so busy promoting Aldertrack and doing his stuff with them, he couldn't make it today.
Yeah. I met him here last time.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike's a good guy. That's for sure. And I hope the yearly Aldertrack thing works out well for him.
Yeah.
Because I know that he's been hanging around the business in various forms for a while, and I'm glad to see he got more recognized this time. Aldertrack was a really... He took Aldertrack over, above, and beyond, and he was on Beyond the Beltway every week with, actually Dan Miller took over for Bruce Dumont. Dan Miller's the former publisher of Cranes and business editor of the Sun-Times.
Yeah.
as well as head of the Illinois Interstate Commerce Commission, and I can actually see his roof from my backyard.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
he's one of the election judges on election day here.
Okay,
So
great. Yeah, they run a great show, a great program, and they're always calling for information, always digging deep into the issues, which is great because that's democracy at its best, is really staying on top of these races, and it gives us a platform to get our message out to the ward, because it's expensive. It's expensive to run races, and when we have outlets like that, it helps a lot.
no, definitely no
I think
question.
that's what helped my race. Without I did a lot with. I always say I was very frugal with the money that I raised,
Yeah.
and we didn't do TV, and we were incredibly successful with the money that we did use. We had some really good mail that went out. It was very positive, and we did some compare and contrast. But for the most part, it was positive. Getting my message out about why I will be a full-time, responsible, and ethical alderman for the 43rd Ward.
Very good. Have you made any adjustments at all since the runoff, or you're staying on message, or
yeah, it's a whole different race now. Being in the runoff is completely different. You don't realize it until all of a sudden you're in it. There's going to be a lot more targeted mail. We're going to stay consistent with the message that we've been sending, which was really, I think, very effective. My message to the ward is a positive one, and one that I want to bring the ward together on a lot of different issues on development with my 43rd Ward Zoning Board. I think was well received. There's still a lot of questions about it that I hope to answer in these debates, because it's not something that's going to be upsetting the apple cart. It's really going to give a voice to the neighborhood organizations that are so well established and so effective at doing what they do. And there's other ideas of ways that we're going to bring the ward together with respect to schools, and really making sure that the money is spent wisely so that all the schools in the ward can have the best teachers, the best programming, and the best facilities. And then also with respect to retail, we really need to think globally about all our retail corridors and make sure that they are functioning and vibrant and really successful. And I think that we haven't put enough effort into that. So we're going to continue to send that message out that we're excited to get the ward moving in the right direction going forward.
Well, that's an interesting word, globally.
Yes, yes, globally, yes. The boundaries of the bad 43rd Ward, the big bad 43rd Ward.
Yeah, no, listen, there's no place in the city that isn't basically, like United Nations type stuff.
Yeah.
So, that works out. We've got about a minute left, so why don't you give us your info and last minute pitch?
Okay, great. Well, I've been giving a lot of it, and again, I just want to keep hammering away at the message. I'm going to be a full-time alderman. Our alderman was plagued with a lot of these ethical questions about the outside job that she had, where she received $84,000 a year. People are really questioning, because of the small amount of business that organization really engages in, whether or not that was a way to circumvent campaign laws, or whether or not it does show that she was a full-time alderman or not. And I think people have legitimate questions about that need to be answered. And I do plan to be a full-time alderman. I do plan to have a weekly ward night where people can come in and talk to me about their whatever concerns, however small or maybe insignificant, but I treat them with respect and dignity. And I think that's we need to have that kind of responsiveness at the ward level.
And your website, once again?
CarolineFor43.com.
Okay, check her out there. Is the campaign office phone number? Or?
There is. It's 773. I want to make sure I get this one right. 710-8088.
Caroline Vickrey, running in 43. Definitely a very serious candidate, somebody who's very capable. Good luck in the election.
Thank you so much, Abby.
Thank you.